This is the only Anycubic Slicer Next tutorial you need. This is going to be a full beginner's guide and tutorial showing you how to use Anycubic Slicer Next for your 3D printing. Step number one, what we first want to do is go on over to google.com, and what we're going to do is we are going to search for Anycubic Slicer Next because that is the name of the slicer. We're going to download this software and then we're going to set it up. So this is the one we need right here. It's the first one that shows up. It says Anycubic Slicer Next FDM Printing. Click on that. And now we are on the page where we can download it. And now next, what you want to do is choose what type of operating system you have. I'm on a Windows, so I'm going to go with this one right here. If you're on a Mac, you click this one. Then a download file should prompt up here. It's up here in the right-hand corner. It's a .exe. It's a .exe file. I'm going to double click that to start the download. And it should walk you all the way through setting all this up. Click install. And then when it's all done, click finish. Once the software is installed, it's going to walk us through the setup process. So click on get started right here. Choose your country. Next, a list of Anycubic 3D printers should prompt up, and what you need to do is make sure your 3D printer is checked here. I'm just going to leave them all checked, then click next. Then you can choose what types of filament you want to pop up inside your slicer. I usually just leave all these checked, then click finish. All right guys, so here is the interface to the slicer right here, and it's actually really easy to understand, I promise. This is a form of Orca Slicer and it's really similar. First what I want to do is log into your username that you have an Anycubic account, right? And if you don't have one, go and create an account and log in. You're also going to have to log into your 3D printer using that and then connect via Wi-Fi. So the tabs on the left are really helpful to know. So we have the home button, we have the recently opened, favorite and likes, Makeronline, reward center, etc. The main ones you need to know about are this Makeronline ones. So essentially what we can do here is these are 3D models from the Anycubic marketplace of 3D models. And what's really cool here is you can directly click on these models and it will directly send it to your 3D printer. And you can search here. If I search for Benchy, it gives us a bunch of Benchy models that we could directly click on and open as a specific project. And all you have to do here is click on download and open. And you can directly click on your individual 3D printer you have as well. That works too. And it will cater to those settings for that printer. So we can find files here, or we can click on the home button and go back home and then click on new project, or you can open an existing project. But if you're new to this, you won't have that yet. So click on new project, and this is what the interface inside a project within the slicer is going to look like. If you've used Orca Slicer, it's very similar to that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to work our way left down these tabs, and as we get closer to printing our 3D model, we're going to work our way to the left to the right of these tabs right here. See, we're going to start with prepare and move to preview and then go to workbench. So what we first want to do here is we want to select our 3D printer. I'm using the Anycubic Cobra X, so just click on there and select your 3D printer. And then for the build plate, choose your build plate. I'm going to be using the textured PEI plate that came with my 3D printer. And what you can also do here is click on this workbench button right here, and it's going to show you if your 3D printer is actually connecting to the slicer via Wi-Fi. So make sure your 3D printer's on and connected to the Wi-Fi and you're logged into your Anycubic account. You can see my 3D printer showing up right here, the Anycubic Cobra X, and it's free and ready to 3D print. All right, so click back over to the prepare tab. So what we're going to do here is next we're going to import a 3D model. And usually what you do is you download a 3D model from a website. So I'm going to go back over to our internet browser and I'm going to go over to printables.com. Again, there's a bunch of different websites you can download 3D models from. I'm going to click on the 3D model section. And for this tutorial here, I'm going to do something pretty easy. So I'm just going to search for Benchy. This is kind of a beginner staple print. I'm going to click here and then I'm going to click on the download button to directly download it. And sometimes there's multiple file types. What we mainly want to do is download .stl or .3mf. Here it is, the STL file. Click download. Then we're going to go back over to our slicer and we're going to click this little plus button right here where it says add. This is essentially importing a new 3D model. I'm going to click here. Then I'm going to click on my file I just downloaded. This is called the Benchy. And there it is, guys. We have imported our first 3D model. So what's really important to know is how to navigate the viewing planes of this build plate right here. What I mean by that here is how you look at it. So if you hover over the build plate right here with your mouse and you left click and hold, you're going to be able to move and change the viewing of this. And then you can scroll in on your mouse, scroll in and scroll out to zoom in and zoom out. Then you can right click and hold and then you can move your entire build plate to a different location. These commands on changing the viewing planes or viewing angles are really important to know. Okay, so now that we have imported our 3D model into the slicer on the build plate here, what I first like to do is kind of change the positioning, change the sizing, and we'll move from there. Those are kind of the basic things you start with. So I always try to put the model at the front of the build plate in which it sits on the 3D printer, just for the mere fact that you can kind of watch it as it 3D prints, and it makes the experience a little more fun to see. So all you do is left click on the model, you'll see it highlight, left click and hold, and you can actually move and drop and drag your model wherever you want. I tend to put it in the center up by the front because I'm OCD, but you can do it wherever you want. And next, what you can do here to change the sizing is if you highlight the model, left click on it and highlight it, you'll notice that a bunch of these buttons up here in the navigation highlight and become readily available. What you then can do here is click on the scale button. This is essentially the sizing feature in which we can edit the sizing of our 3D model. So what you can do here is if you have the uniform scale checked, that means that the model keeps and stays uniform. What you can do this a couple different ways. You can highlight this and change it and put 200 and double the size, or, and again, you can change it to the millimeters. I could do it to like 90 millimeters right there. So you can change it based on like the actual measurement. Or what you can do is left click on these boxes and you can scale and size down different sections. This light blue is essentially the entire model. So if I left click on that and I drop and drag either way, I can choose the different sizing of the model. Next, what you want to do is think about the filament that you want to 3D print this in, right? So we chose our printer over here on the left. We chose the build plate. Next, what you need to do is choose the type of filament that you want to print. And if you're doing multiple types, you're doing a multicolor 3D model as well, you can click on the plus button and add your multicolors here to edit them. See that? I'm just going to do this in one color to keep this tutorial extremely simple. I actually have another tutorial on how to do this in multicolor, so go ahead and search that if you want that in particularly. But it's kind of the same, honestly. And to edit the type of filament here, all you do is kind of click on it and then choose what filament you're going to be printing in. I'm going to choose PLA. And again, a lot of people ask me, is Anycubic PLA the same as all the other color or brands of filament PLA? And the answer is pretty much. Then choose the color by clicking on the box. We're going to do this in orange. Click OK, and then it changes to orange. So then all of these settings on the left-hand side here are getting pretty in-depth as far as like advanced features. So we look here, we can change the layer height, the layer width, the top surface and such like that. We can change the walls, the filament loops. My advice to you, if you're a total beginner, like I think you are if you're watching this video, the only feature you may need to change in here is the support feature. So click on supports, and I don't think this model is going to need supports, but on certain models, you're actually going to need supports. Like if the 3D printer cannot print certain sections out of thin air, what it's going to do is it's going to create a support going up there so that it can print it and lay the filament. And again, I have in particular videos on this and customizing supports, etc. if you want to learn more about that. So you may need to enable that. And again, there's different types. There's the tree support and manual support. There's essentially normal and tree. Then there's different styles. You can do organic, tree slim, etc. Again, if you're looking for that, I do have an advanced video on just that, because that honestly is a video in itself. Okay, so I'm going to unclick that because this model does not need supports. And if you're wondering if your model needs supports, when you move to the next feature where you slice it and click on this preview tab, it's going to tell you down in the corner here that you need supports and you have overhanging areas, and it's going to be a warning. So watch for that. Okay, I'm going to go back to the prepare tab now. Some of these features you might want to be using and customizing right here. So if we left click and highlight our model, what's going to happen here is these icons are going to become readily available, right? So up here, we can import more models. So if you want to do multiple models on the build plate, you can do that. We can click on auto orientate. That's a popular one as well. If I click it, it's probably just going to keep it the way it is. That's the slicer's way of figuring out the best way to orientate the model to 3D print it. Then if we want to move it, we can click that and essentially move this like this. If you click on these little pane movers right here, the arrows. But again, you can do that just by left clicking and highlighting it and moving it that way as well. We can rotate it. So if we click on the rotate feature, these arrows are for rotating different panes. So for example, if I click this red arrow, it would obviously rotate like that. And if you want to undo anything at any point, there's an undo back arrow right here. Rotate is actually used quite commonly. I'll rotate rotate almost every model. So like I like to rotate the models and keep them looking the coolest as I 3D print it and see it 3D print. So this might be like the coolest look right here. So that's the rotate feature. If you click on the scale, we kind of already talked about that. That is increasing the sizing, right? Then if you want it to lay on its face for specific models, you can click that as well. Then for support painting, I talk about that in the support video. And then there's text. What you can do is click this and you can click wherever you want to add text. So for example, all you do is drop text wherever you want it. You can rotate it however you want it. Then you can change the font, essentially all of the settings how you want them. You can change the sizing. This is really cool because a lot of times when I'll print things for kids and such, like my daughter, what I'll do is I'll add her name on it and kind of like a customization. Kids absolutely love this. I highly advise when you're 3D printing models, just throw some text on there really quick and it's like the coolest thing ever. I wish I would have known this earlier. Then if we zoom in, that's what it's going to look like. Pretty cool, right? Then we have the measuring feature. You can essentially get measurements of different points. Like if I click here and I go to this face right here, it tells me the measurement from there. This is extremely handy when you're creating 3D models that fit in specific areas like car parts or if you're building brackets, etc. Then there's a handful of other features, but I feel like it's kind of advanced stuff that we're going to talk about in my advanced tutorial. Okay, so now that we have the 3D model looking the way we want it to, next what we're going to do here is we're going to move on past this prepare screen and we're going to go on to the preview tab, right? This is essentially slicing the file. This is the software slicer looking at the entire model to look and see what it's going to look like as it's 3D printed and find errors and such. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us a bunch of information over here. It's going to tell us the time in which it, like different surfaces, 3D model. It's going to tell you the total time, the total filament, the cost even, the prepare time. You can use the layer height tool right here to kind of get a view of what it's going to look like as it 3D prints. I really love using this feature right here. You just left click and kind of hold it. This is all useful information to know. What's really helpful is the print time, right? There's a lot of times where I get models ready to go and I look at the total time and it'll be like 16 hours worth and I'm just like, nope, I'm bailing on this. A lot of times my daughter will want to print something cool and I'm like, honey, this takes 9 hours to 3D print. She'll be like, what? I can't wait that long, and then we'll move on to something else. So the total time, the total filament are kind of the basics of what we're looking at, right? So then next what you want to do here is this is where we essentially kind of send the file to the 3D printer, right? So what I'm going to do here is I am going to look at my 3D printer, and how you do this is you click on the workbench tab over here and it will show me which filaments are in my 3D printer right here. So I can tell that I have purple PLA in there. So just for the sake of this tutorial, what I'm going to do here is go back and change the color to this to purple because it's already loaded into my 3D printer. Then I'm going to go back over to the preview tab here, and how we send this to the 3D printer is we click on this remote print button up here in the right hand corner. But maybe go on over to the workbench, take a good look at your 3D printer here. Does it show up? Does it say that it's free and available to print? Because sometimes if your printer's not ready, this is going to have issues. Make sure that you have the right filaments in your 3D printer ready to go for your file. For example, if I was printing that in orange and I don't have orange printed, the printer's not gonna know. So go back over to the preview tab here. Once you've confirmed all of that looks good here, click on remote print right here, and you can tell that it grabbed that purple color from the printer that it had loaded into it. See how it has the different selections right here of my multicolor system? I'm gonna choose purple. Make sure the correct 3D printer is selected. I would advise that you do bed leveling. You can choose these or turn them off, and then click on start print, and it is going to essentially send that model to the 3D printer. This was the only Anycubic Slicer Next tutorial you need. This was a step-by-step tutorial guide for beginners on how to learn how to use this slicer and send 3D models to your 3D printer. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this tutorial, but before you go guys, YouTube thinks you're gonna love this next video. Guys, the video's on the screen right now. It's one of the best videos and I think you're gonna love it. Guys, it's right here. The video's right here.